It was tough for a few accomplished men to accept a mere boy to pull Excalibur from its stony grip. Tough as it may, respect is earned. That's exactly what you have here with the Roger Dubuis Excalibur. Designer Notes Subject 129. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. Follow us at Instagram at Design Atelier Aruba for behind-the-scenes content. Email us at designatelieraruba@gmail.com. This video is brought to you by Shiba's Gold and Gems. Founded in 1995 by the man himself, Roger Dubuis immediately became a collector's darling with its initial offerings. Mr. Dubuis made use of his extensive experience with Patek Philippe as a watchmaker and collaborations with founders of Agenor and Harry Winston. One of the first collections that put Roger Dubuis on the map was the Sympathy with its Geneva certified refinements and classical look. It also demonstrates the brand's competence in handling complications. Competence was not good enough as a word nor idea for Roger Dubuis. So only a few years later, it debuted the Excalibur with an in-house double tourbillon caliber. I don't know about you, but to me, nothing commands more respect than an in-house double tourbillon. By this time in the 2000s, Roger Dubuis exploded in popularity with its very distinct design signature. For its tourbillon watches, you can always see the flying axe structure. Within the movement, Roger Dubuis became well known for its ultra-thin Starbridge skeletonization. And outside the case, the bezel has these sharp cuts all around it that makes it very easy to identify an Excalibur on the wrist. Not that you see these every day, of course. The Roger Dubuis Excalibur measures at 42mm in diameter and 12.14mm in thickness. Being a skeletonized watch, much of the focus would be in the structure and materials used for the timepiece. This one makes use of the now standard sapphire crystal treatment. This watch, however, features one of the most coveted standards of watchmaking, the Geneva seal. If it wasn't obvious yet, this Roger Dubuis can slay every expectation you may have from a watch of this caliber. This bold timepiece boasts a combination of high-tech materials and high-end craftsmanship. The dimensionality of its case material and dial lends to the overall lightness of the watch. Every single moving gear is easily viewable from the dial with its impossibly thin bridges. Despite its raw and mechanical appearance, winding and setting the time is impressively smooth. As much as this watch is a visual exhibition, it's also a tactile spectacle. From the front or in the back, every single component of the movement is in full display for your viewing pleasure. All of this is achieved with the clever and expansive use of space and architecture. The strap is equally multi-layered with all of its sculpted geometry. This is not only visually interesting, but also quite hefty on the wrist. It's secured with a double folding clasp that's DLC coated and is quite easy to operate. Wearing the watch on the wrist feels super comfortable. The forged carbon case delivers not just extreme durability, but also wears as light as air. If you're in the mood for a more conventional yet equally daring piece, the rose gold variant may just be the piece you're craving. The delectable finishing is outstanding with this model. All of the sharp mirror polish edges will surely captivate everyone's admiration. You're not shortchanged either with the premium alligator strap and matching gold clasp. Up close, the handiwork can be fully appreciated as both the case and movement are finished to the highest grade possible. Part of the requirements of Geneva certification is that every surface on the bridges need to be finished. Not only are they narrow and thin, they're also decorated with perlage across its surface. Roger Dubuis also went to great lengths to ensure that the infrastructure would display the great depth of the design. Because of large gaps from the frames, light will find a way to flood the gears on the lower layers. This meant that the gears were rearranged to achieve this effect. The RD820 is a hand-finished micro-rotor movement that maximizes the space within the case without an obstructive conventional winding mass. Officially recognized by the Canton of Geneva, its merits are undeniable, much like nothing on the watch is ever hidden at all. Every facet is open for scrutiny, and every stroke of an artisan's finishing is clearly seen. The Excalibur is not just a watchmaking showcase, but also a vessel for technologically advanced materials. The forged carbon fiber case is pure alchemy in its mesmerizing texture and near mythological weight. The swirling pattern is a byproduct of the folding and forging process that has its own distinct light play. It's not often talked about, but carbon fiber's texture also has the same ability to reflect light to define its shape. The rubber strap on this model also has these geometrical patterns that's also embossed in varying levels. It creates a visual interest that may be too much considering the case and movement's intricacies. It's bold and loud to the eyes, with surprisingly elaborate details behind its design. Yes, it is a statement piece by most horological measurements, but it also could back up all of these statements despite of the brand's relatively young age. It's like being married to a supermodel that also happens to be an aerospace engineer. It's a complete package that's fantastic to look at, with all of the credentials to talk about and love. As a brand, Roger Dubuis ruffled a few feathers when it was able to pull off things that a young company normally couldn't do. But after the shock, it held its ground. Roger Dubuis now owns a seat in the round table of gallants, with its membership not given but earned through innovation and artistry. The brand's audacious creations dares not just watch enthusiasts to explore contemporary design, but its fellow table members to follow its lead. With its radical and distinctive design, the Roger Dubuis Excalibur continues to push the boundaries of hyper-horology. This exceptional timepiece is available at Chivas Gold & Gems, located in Aruba and St. Martin.